Hello, my name is Richard Turner. Today I'm going to be telling y'all about the psychology of serial killers. Could y'all imagine a neighborhood, a coworker, or a friendly face at the grocery store? Statistically, one of the most chilling truths in criminology is that serial killers are really the monsters that are depicted in movies. They're usually often hidden people who blend in with the average person that you'd walk past. You'd have no idea that they could be hiding such a dark secret. So today we'll dive into the minds of these individuals, a dark exploration into the psychology of serial killers, defining them not just by their actions, but their mindset, the biology, and the motivation behind why they do what they do. While the subject can be unsettling, understanding the foundational psychological triggers of what makes them this way and the environmental trauma is crucial for law enforcement and just for us to have basic understanding and to understand human behavior at its most extreme. This knowledge moves beyond simple curiosity. It informs prevention strategies, aids in risk assessment, and challenges our societal pathology, helping us identify and potentially intervene before something arises between a person, showing, before signs before it escalates violently. The psychology of a serial killer's homicide is a complex phenomenon rooted in several different things. Could be childhood trauma, it could be like a biological mental illness type of thing, or just psychopathy in general. As far as motives behind it, could be, racism, or even just, like I said, a mental trauma where it's just they're impulsive and it's just how they act with their actions. So, on the nature side of things, behind the psychological stand, many serial killers show evidence of neurological dysfunction, specifically in the prefrontal cortex, which governs impulse control and empathy, which is why most serial killers just go after their victims blatantly without motive, etc., because they're so impulsive they act without thinking. The vast majority report severe consistent childhood trauma, often including physical or sexual abuse, which is why a lot of serial killers often rape their victims or commit sexual crimes on them before or even after they do kill them. Um, One example of this is Jeffrey Dahmer. He was mentally unstable, and this led to him raping his victims and sometimes even having sex with his victims even after he would kill them. The developmental factors set the stage, but what truly motivates the act will be the next point, and that is going to be determining what their motives are. Serial killers are classified not just by their method of killing, but their motive in it. While some are most mission oriented, such as assassins or like ones who have a set goal or quota to meet, there are a large and recognizable amount of serial killers that are just hedonistic killers who kill for pleasure or sport, which will be your regular serial killers like Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmers, the Mendez brothers. They all kind of killed without resolution. It was just like a game to them. It was something that they found fun, something to do, kind of like an activity, like a hobby. Like to us, playing sports, watching movies, reading books can be hobbies all to average people, but to these people, taking another life in the most gruesome way possible is something that stimulates them and it excites them. It's fun for them. Understanding the killer's motive is essential, but it's also their behavioral signature that provides the most link back to what's going on internally between them. Forensic analysis distinguish practical steps needed to commit the crime, such as the premeditation of it, if there is any, the after plan, how they try to hide evidence, etc., how they move about it. An organized killer plans meticulously and leaves little evidence. Those are the killers that you use gloves, they bury bodies, they hide the body parts. This is reflecting on their social contents, as a disorganized killer would act spontaneously, living behind a chaotic scene, like the blood on the wall, chopping up the body. It's a less clean kill, and it's more of kind of like a movie scene you could imagine. In summary, the complex puzzle of serial killer psychology is assembled from pieces of genetic vulnerability, severe developmental trauma, and highly specific motivational urges centered around control and power. And this is something that was stated from Ted Bundy himself during one of his interviews that he did once he was actually caught. He did say that one of his main motivations for killing as many women as he did was that he had so much control and power over them before he would kill them, that it stimulated him and it kind of drove his ego for wanting to kill more and more and more because he liked to have power and he wanted to feel the fear of his victims before he killed them. Ultimately, the formation of a serial killer confirms the profound evidence is rarely a simple act of evil, but more so a catastrophic, result of deeply rooted biological and environmental issues. By understanding the psychology behind the pattern, we empower ourselves to see the signs, improve early intervention, and perhaps one day interrupt the cycle of violence before the next life is tragically lost. So, this can help with warning signs, it can help psychologists, it can help just day to day people pick up on early signs of something that may be wrong and get like ahead of the issue before it becomes an issue. And that was my speech on the psychology of serial killers. Thank you all for listening. I hope you have a good evening. Bye.